parsha, we learn about the infamous story of the spies. Moshe sent in 12 spies into the land of Israel to scout out and assess the land of Israel, which they were about to enter. And when the spies returned, they issue overwhelmingly a negative report. 10 out of the 12 spies issued a report that was scathing in nature and said the land of Israel is fraught with too many challenges and obstacles that we won't be able to overcome. And the people went ahead and they went into hysteria and they were panicking, and they turned to Moshe and they said, we do not want to enter the land of Israel. Unfortunately, because of their reaction and the hysteria that took place, God punished the people that they would now have to stay an extended period of time in the desert until they were able to enter the land for many years. The question I would just ask is, what was Moshe expecting when he sent the spies in? Was he expecting them to whitewash everything and just say everything is hunky-dory, fine? Was he expecting them to somehow massage some of the facts in this report? After all, they were expected to go on a fact-finding mission. So why, when they're returning now with facts, was Moshe disappointed? After all, they didn't seem to be untruthful with their report. And I think this really underscores for us in our lives, or in general, different perspectives that we take of certain situations, the way we assess things, because there's no perfect situation in life, there's no perfect person, there's no perfect place. And when we have to go ahead and assess a situation, a place, or a person, the question we have to ask ourselves is, what way are we looking at this situation? Are we going to focus on what's positive, or are we going to focus on what's negative? Not to necessarily whitewash the negatives and the cons, but rather, what's our focus going to be? Let's be cognizant of the reality, but it's very important, and sometimes it's challenging, how to have a positive perspective. And that's what these spies, what they made a terrible error, the way they assessed the land. The land of Israel was not perfect, no place is, but they had an exclusive focus on the negativity. They went ahead and expounded on the negativity, and they minimized the positive aspects. And that was so terrible in the way how they went ahead and reported about the land. And for us, we have to go ahead and really remember that, how we can go ahead and assess different situations. So folks, when we take a look at the story of the spies, we have to remember that this wasn't a one-timer. That really applies to our daily lives, because we are looking at things all the time and we draw conclusions all the time. The questions that we're going to ask ourselves: are we going to make the same mistake they made and assess things negatively, or are we going to go away with a positive aspect and make sure to always focus on the positive? Have a wonderful Shabbos.